All right, it's tree planting day, and for 2013 we planted some spruce yesterday with the little planter to make sure everything was going well. We're having a normal spring, whatever that is. After last year, we're hoping this spring's a lot nicer. We got some good rains early and we got that snowpack, so the ground is working perfect right now. Tree planting is, I always say, the day it gets planted in our nursery is one of the most important days in the tree's life. We like to, we make sure that the tree's planted at the right depth on our end so that the end user, it's in good shape and it's in the right spot. Right now we're planting some Chanticleer pears from Schmidt, J. Frank Schmidt out in Oregon. It's a perfect day, 50 degrees, no wind. Supposedly it's supposed to be windy tomorrow, so we're going to try to get a lot done today. And we're supposed to be getting some rain tomorrow too. Tomorrow afternoon. Good nurserymen want it to be sunny and 70 all week and rain 1 inch on Saturday afternoon, so you get Sunday off. So I'm gonna have Doug stop the planter.
Okay, stop.
What we do is when we pull through here, we want to make sure that the bud union is about that far above grade. Guys will come through here, pack this in there, then it'll be nice and straight. These trees are just starting to bud out. Hey, I want to show you State Streets. These are from Carlton out in Oregon. We did the same thing. We brought through here, and right down here is where we want the bud graft union to be just a little bit above grade. We're really happy with that. The root structure is really nice on this. You come through in a couple weeks, do a little pruning on here, prune it 2 or 3 times, and it's good to go. Thanks for visiting with us on Tree Planting Day. We'll see you next month.
Hi, we're out in the field on tree planting day, and we've stopped for a second. We're reloading up some liners, you can see behind me, on the tree planter. And I was just talking here, this is my dad, Doug Harford, and my son, Joey. Dad's the 4th generation on our farm, which makes me the 5th, and Joey will be the 6th. And we thought, you know, when we're out in the spring here in the field, it's a great time to talk about the soil and the soil health. And, you know, Dad was just pointing out some stuff to Joey, and I thought it'd be really interesting to share.
As you look around, this time of year is a good time to think about soil health, because, you know, we've just gone through the winter and the soil is now kind of waking up with the rest of us. And, you know, you look at it around here, you can see that almost all the residue from last year's soybean crop has been removed by the night crawlers.
So, and we plant soybeans. This was an area that was bare last year in the nursery, so we put soybeans in here as our cover crop.
And they're for several reasons, because soybeans is a cover crop. Soybeans have a lot of protein in the stem, just like they do the fruit. And so soybeans, everybody's familiar with them being full of protein, but the stems do too, and it makes good forage for the night crawlers. Night crawlers eat from the surface. Those are the kind of worms that as kids went out and picked up with a flashlight at night and to go fishing with. Well, they eat only from the surface. They have holes that go down into the ground about 4 feet. This farm here, all of it is underlaid with tile. So those holes make a good pathway for water to get into the subsoil. But they also, as they eat all of that residue from the surface, they also digest it and then line the holes with it. So it puts nutrients back in the soil, and it puts them deep in the soil. If we look over here, you'll see these night crawler middens that I was showing Joey, where the night crawlers have collected, like right here, all of the residue from this area and he has pulled it over his hole. There's another one here and another one here. So as you kind of take this off, you can see that he's put all of this material from his hole up in here with the residue that he's pulled in. If we dig right in that area, we'll probably see a big hole where he goes down as much as 4 feet into the ground. If you look right here, and you see residue that's been pulled down into that hole.
That's cool.
So, you know, it's a good time to look at soil health. A lot of people talk about tillage as an alternative to chemicals or everything else on the farm, but tillage would remove all of this residue. And
before the nursery, this was no-till for how many years?
This has been a no-till for 30 years. And because of that, you can look, and all the residue here doesn't need to be tilled away. It's been eaten by the night crawlers in this field and taken deep down into the soil, which are great for these trees' new roots that are coming out. So, you know, as we look at tillage, Chris, if you turn around, you'll see behind where we've planted grass between the trees. There's another reason to do that, is it makes a forage crop. If we clean tilled this farm between the trees, the night crawlers couldn't survive that period of time that the trees were on the farm because they wouldn't have any food source. Now with the grass in there, they can eat grass. But even a better crop for them to eat is the soybean stubble because it's rich in protein, and they know now that night crawlers populations go way up after soybeans. So in a way, once we put soybeans in here every 4 or 5 years, the high quality food source makes the night crawlers have a lot more offspring and repopulate these fields.
Cool. Looks like they're waiting for us over there on the tree planter, so we better get back to work.